The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
本当に？嘘！本当に？何なのこれ？ホラーじゃないの？何なの？
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
もうさ、操作の仕方からわかんないんだけど。
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
本当に？なんかわーとかないの？ないの？何それ？これ買ったの？マジでホラーだと思って。
I heard something moving around in the garage. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
勝手にセーブされちゃった。この人何歳なの？エディス。何？いたよ。これ？何？何なの？どうでもいい。じゃああんまりあれってこと若いってこと？
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
ずっとこんな調子？
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
これアメリカでチャイニーズのテイクアウトするとこれなんだよ。知ってた？これに麺のなんかやつとかエビのなんかやつとか入ってるの入れてもらって持って帰ってきて食べるんだけど、
The table was still a wreck from the night we
入っ
left.
てるってだけでめっちゃ美味しい。
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
うろうろするだけ？ディビジョンしようかな。
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
何の鍵やねんじゃあこれ。
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara. along with the rest of the house.
一日で終わるの。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
そんなに高くない。
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
マジか。え？
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
なんで覗き穴があんの？ホラーじゃないの？ ごめんなさい。
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
トイレ？何あれ？ピンクのモサモサしたやつ。カーペット？そっか、時差があるのか。
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
なんかいろんな人の名前が出てきすぎてよくわかんなくなってきたな。
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
これがバーバラなの？時差。バーバラ。
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
いや、1944年から60。若くない？あ、若くない？ 10？ え？ 16？
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
何？フィンチ家について知ろうみたいな。
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
本当に？興味ねえよ。興味、あ、開いてる。
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
これの鍵？
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
ホラーにしたらよかったのに。絶対面白いよ。ね。ホラー要素。
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Molly?
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
もっとちゃんと見たいんだけど。すんだよ。
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here.
December 13th, 1947.
今ど
Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
森視点になった。 え？
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Gross!
？I kept eating and eating.
ジャンプしたら顔見えんじゃん。
I ate a lot of things that night.
食べていいやつなの？食べていいやつなの？
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
歯磨き粉？
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
ご飯がご飯あげないから。
And suddenly, I was a cat.
は？なんだ？人間じゃなかったの？は？はい？はい？はい？はい。木の上から降りれなくなったんだけど。どうすんのこれ？ジャンプ、ジャンプ、ジャンプ、ジャンプ。あ、こういうことか。
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
お前が追っかけるからだよ。あれ、鳥どこ行った？鳥どこ行った？だ。あらあら。そんなに前に。
I jumped and I almost got her.
おら。なんだこれ。鳥。
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
なんてこれちょっと、なんかパズルみたいなやつだったんだ。
Rabbits.
どこ？いやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいや、そうさ難しいでしょ。だいぶ遠くから行かないといけないさ。ラビッツ。はい。やだ、かわいそう。
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
なんかえぐいな。Something bigger. 作業ででかいもん。
A mama rabbit.
いや、むずいむずい。あ、捕まえちゃった。
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. Suddenly, I was a shark.
水ないのにどうすんのこれ。あ、いてて。何これ意味わかんないんだけど。ぐるぐるぐる。ふう。
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
上手やん。
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
だーれいつまでこの子の猟奇的な狩りに付き合わなきゃいけない。
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
何これ。何これ気持ち悪い。どうしよう。何これ。ちょっと。何これ。どうし。何これ。私は何になったの。ね、気持ち悪い。どうしたらいいのこれ。どうしたらいいのこれ。ね、気持ち悪いんだけど。どういうこと。
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
What kind of monster is it?
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
これをやるの。これをやるの。こいつをやるの。
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. Passenger, I was still hungry, and to cross the water I smelled something new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling.
夢？
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
終わっていい？あ、これ森？あお。37から40なので10歳？
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
そんなんベッドの下や。
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
いや、もうやめていい。これやめたらどうなるの？もう続きがなる？